Here at home, Senator Patrick Leahy, who was close with Carter in his time in Washington, sat down with our Stephen Biddix to talk about their friendship.
Stephen's live in the newsroom now. And Stephen, I learned from your reporting that Jimmy Carter played a pretty big role in helping Patrick Leahy launch his political career.
Yes, he did, Jack and Liz. Leahy says before he ran for the Senate in 1974, Carter urged him to run and was one of the reasons he decided to do so, which would eventually make him the first Democratic senator to serve in Washington for the Green Mountain State and begin his decades-long career.
We met up here in New England and hit it off right away.
It was an unlikely friendship. Jimmy Carter hailing from Georgia and Patrick Leahy from Vermont, nearly a 20-hour drive away. But the two became close quickly in their time serving in Washington. Carter playing a big role in Leahy launching his first Senate campaign, which would lead to decades of service and one of the most powerful players in D.C.
And he said, well, now, you got anything against you in running? I said, well, we're the only state in the union that's never elected a Democrat. We've never elected anybody under 50. I was 33 at the time and a Democrat. And he says, yeah, but you were just picked as one of the three outstanding prosecutors in the country. He said, you ought to run on that.
The two were able to let their guard down around each other.
I saw him as a real person. You know, when anybody was around as Mr. President, Senator, we were alone as Jimmy and Patrick.
And the families got tight over time, too.
And our kids, they loved him. And he would just walk them in the Oval Office or everywhere else and treat them like members of the family, even taking a 5-year-old around by the hand at a White House picnic.
The news of Carter's death hit Leahy hard over the weekend.
We knew the end was coming, but I was reading press online in the morning and the flash came out that he died. I just turned the computer off and got up and walked around the house. It hit me badly.
Whether it was the Camp David Accords, which brought peace between Israel and Egypt, or the former president's other accomplishments in and out of office, Leahy says Carter never changed and should be remembered as a genuine person.
I think the thing I remember the most about him, he was a real person. You also knew whether you were on his good side or his bad side. I was fortunate to be on his good side.
He and his wife, Marcelle, plan on attending the state funeral January 9th in Washington, D.C. Live in the newsroom tonight, Stephen Biddix, NBC5 News.